The San Jose Sharks had a historically bad season. Like, this team is getting smoked almost every other night. At the time of recording, San Jose has one game left in the season, and they're currently sitting with a 19-53-9 record with a goal differential of minus 146. This team has been historically bad. Erik Karlsson got traded away over the offseason, and this team has not been able to recover since. Like, there was a 2-game stretch at the beginning of the season where San Jose allowed over 20 goals in just 2 games. 20 goals allowed in 2 games. That is absolutely absurd. So with San Jose being this bad, would it be possible for the best junior team to beat them? And what junior team are we talking about exactly? Well, that's the London Knights. Now, technically, there is a team in the Quebec League that is better than the London Knights if you look at their record throughout the season, but when it comes to NHL 24, the London Knights have the highest overall among junior teams. And it's very clear that this London Knights team, compared to an NHL team, is not very good. However, we are going to see if it's possible for this junior team right here to beat the San Jose Sharks. And honestly, I think it's going to be easier than we expect. So what we're going to do every single season is I'm going to spin this wheel right here of CHL teams, and after every single season, we're going to be adding another player from a junior team onto this London Knights squad. But the first thing we have to do is see if the London Knights by themselves can beat the San Jose Sharks, because you never know what can happen. So what we're going to do here is jump into playoff mode. It's going to be a best of 7 series, the San Jose Sharks taking on the London Knights, and we're going to see if it's possible for London to not only beat the San Jose Sharks, but beat them in a 7-game series. Because if you can beat somebody in a 7-game series, that's when you know you're actually better than them. So early on in this video, we're just going to be simulating entire games, because I highly doubt the London Knights are going to be able to compete with the San Jose Sharks. A 9-3 victory in game number 1, yeah, that's citing a statement. But while I go ahead and simulate through the first couple games here, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because only 20% of the people that watch these videos are actually subscribed, and that's absolutely absurd. So if you want to join the family here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. A 6-1 loss in game 2. Yeah, it's going to take a while before this London team can really compete. Now, this game was actually pretty close up until the 3rd period, where San Jose is going to be scoring 3 straight, and that means they take this one 7-3. So here we go in game 4. Can the London Knights somehow spark a comeback here and win any games here? Nope, 5 goals allowed in the 3rd period, and we're losing this one 8-1, and we're eliminated in a 4-game sweep. So with series number 1 in the books here, it's time for us to add some more players. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel of CHL teams, and I'm going to be completely honest, if we land on any Quebec teams, I'm going to have absolutely no clue on how to pronounce them. But we're going to be getting the Mississauga Steelheads. I can definitely pronounce that name. I also will mention, when it comes to the OHL and the Quebec League, I have absolutely no clue who's on any of these teams, but we're going to be picking up Lucas Misa. I think his name's Lucas. Okay, Luke Misa, you're going to be the first player we're adding to this team here. You know what? You're 70 overall. You're definitely going to be helping here. I can't complain about that. But considering that we're going to be adding 70 overall players, this is definitely going to take a minute. Like, even if we set the head coach preferred lines here, this is the type of team we're looking at here. Yeah, we have 270 overalls, a 67 overall, but can this team really compete with the likes of the San Jose Sharks? Definitely not, but they're somehow going to win a game or two. Now, I think if this team's really going to win a Stanley Cup, we just need a hot goaltender, and that's exactly what we're getting here. A shutout, and the London Knights have a 1-0 series lead. Luke Misa, you are the hero. Now, I never would have expected that in simulation number 2 we would already have a 1-0 series lead on the San Jose Sharks. This might be a very quick video. We're going to simulate this game right here. Okay, I thought we were going to win back-to-back games here. It's a collapse in the 3rd period, and San Jose's even this series up. Now, the reason I'm not going period by period is this video would take forever if I did that. Like, we would be doing this the entire video. San Jose, they're going to be dominating this game. It's a 4-1 victory for them. San Jose is going to be winning a majority of these games early on, so we might as well just simulate the entire game. The London Knights tried to bounce back in game number 4 here, but unfortunately 5 goals from the San Jose Sharks is going to be more than enough, and they got themselves a 3-1 series lead. And I fully expect San Jose to be closing the series out here. We're going to go ahead and simulate game 5. This was an absolute dominant performance from them. Luke Misa is going to be picking up another goal here, but San Jose is picking up 6 straight, so I mean, we're not going to be winning this one. So let's get right back to adding CHL teams here, and if I'm going to recognize any players, more than likely it's going to come from some of the WHL teams. We're going to be landing on the Barrie Colts. I cannot tell you who the Barrie Colts have. Now, unfortunately from the Barrie Colts, we're not going to be picking up any superstars here. We're getting Beaudoin. Definitely said that name wrong, but Cole Beaudoin, you're joining the team at 68 overall. I mean, to be fair, any overall helps here because he's now our 4th highest overall player. So yeah, Beaudoin, welcome to the team. For all I know, I just picked up the next Connor Bedard and Beaudoin, but I highly doubt that's happening here. We allowed 5 goals in the 1st period. This game's over early. We're losing this one 6-2. Shout out to Luke Misa, though. He's holding up his end of the bargain. So game number 2, I can guarantee is going to be another blowout here, but we're actually competing with the San Jose Sharks. We're going to overtime this one, but Zadina is going to be picking up the OT winner. Now let's just just wrap this series up because London cannot compete with the San Jose Sharks right now. We're going to be dropping game 3 5-0. And game 4 is going to be another quick one here. Let's just simulate that. We're getting shut out 4-0. So let's go ahead and spin the CHL teams wheel once again here. I don't even know who I want to get. I want to see if we can get some 75 overall players. With our next selection, we're getting the Sarnia Sting. And the only thing I know about them is Jordan Kyrou used to play for them like 6 years ago. 6 or 7. It's been way longer than I probably think. Now, of course, Jordan Kyrou is not going to be on the Sarnia Sting here. But who do they have? Not very many good players here. We're adding a 63 overall. That is not going to help us in the slightest. I mean, I guess it helps us a little bit. But yeah, that's definitely not the move here. Shout out to Marco, though. AHL potential, you're going to do better than that. I believe in you. So here we go with simulation number 4 here. Things are going to be finally turning around for the London Knights. It doesn't look like it. However, Marco did pick up 2 goals in the 3rd period here. Did he have a hat trick in this game? If he picked up the first one, no he didn't. But shout out to Luke Misa. This guy's an absolute legend. Since this video is about CHL teams, comment your favorite CHL team down below. Also shout out to Haltonen. He's picking up a hat trick here and we're actually beating the San Jose Sharks in game 2. Okay, so we've evened up the series with the San Jose Sharks here. I highly doubt we're going to be making game 3 interesting. But you know what? It is a 1-goal game entering the 3rd period here. But unfortunately, we're going to be getting shut out. Now, unless the London Knights can make some crazy comeback, I don't think we're going to be winning in this simulation. We're getting shut out once again. So let's go ahead and simulate Game 5 and wrap this series up and then add somebody new to the team here. A 5-3 loss is going to be sending us home. But you know what? That's not the end of the world here because that just means we're going to be improving this team a bit more. With our next spin, what team are we going to be getting here? It looks like it's going to be the Owen Sound Attack. I do want to mention, I also have Quebec teams on this wheel and WHL teams, but somehow we've only landed on OHL so far. The wheel is randomized too. I don't know why we keep getting OHL teams. Now, we are going to be securing a good centerman from the Owen Sound Attack. We're bringing in Petrovsky here. Don't really know too much about this guy, but he is a 67 overall, so he's going to be helping a ton. He's going to be one of our better players. So I think if this team's ever going to beat San Jose in a 7-game series, there's 2 things that need to happen. One, we got to get a better goaltender. I'm not sure if there's any 70 overall goaltenders out there, but that's exactly what we need. We also need our goaltender to get incredibly hot for 4 games because there's no way we're going to be winning unless we can stop San Jose's offense. Because let's face it, we're not a good team. They're scoring on average 5 to 6 goals against us. We definitely have to slow that pace down. But while we simulate through the games here, maybe we can spark some sort of comeback. Another 4-goal game for the San Jose Sharks. It's going to be incredibly difficult for this London team to beat them. So let's get this series over with. It's going to be a sweep for the San Jose Sharks. Unless we can win in game number 4 here, Zadina is going to be picking up the OT winner and we're eliminated once again in a sweep. The fact that some of these games have gone to overtime though makes no sense. Like, this is an NHL team taking on a junior team. It shouldn't even be close. I know for a fact the Prince George Cougars are very good right now, so we're going to be getting a great player here. So this is the first WHL team we're going to be adding from, and that means we're getting 70 overall Parzak. Definitely not going to complain about this selection. A good young player for this team, only 17 years old, top 6 potential, but the potential doesn't really matter because he's not going to be developing here, but still a 70 overall, I can't complain about that. So here we go. I believe we're on attempt number 6 or 7. I've completely lost track. We're definitely not winning this game. We're allowing 3 goals in the first period. We're dropping this one 4-0. If we were able to stop San Jose's offense, then I believe we could actually beat them pretty easily, but that's the main issue here. We don't play great defense, but somehow we are going to steal this game in overtime. Shout out to Lawrence. He's picking up the OT winner, and we just evened this series up. So maybe we actually do have a chance against the San Jose Sharks here. The series is tied at 1 game apiece. Game 3 is going to be a massive one, but unfortunately we're dropping that one once again and we're not able to score any goals. So one of our issues was not being able to stop San Jose's offense, but one of our issues right now, we can't score goals. Zadina, another OT winner. If you need an OT winner, just rely on Zadina. He'll find a way to put it in the back of the net. I also want to mention we picked up the first 2 goals of the game here and then allowed 3 unanswered. We almost evened up this series. So once again, the London Knights are facing elimination. I don't think we're going to be having a comeback here. Maybe we are. We're tying this one up off to overtime. Are we going to spark a comeback here? It doesn't look like it. Yes, it does. Hold on. Bonk's going to be picking up a goal here. We're still alive. Now, I really thought we were eliminated here, but I think we're just prolonging the elimination. The San Jose Sharks going to be taking us out here. They're scoring 2 goals in the first period. Let's just simulate the rest here. We're losing that one 7-2. So when push came to shove and the big time players need to step up, that's what San Jose's doing. This was definitely a career best season for us, taking 2 games away from the San Jose Sharks, so we're definitely headed in the right direction here. What we really need, though, is a superstar goaltender, and I'm not sure if we're going to find that on the Niagara Ice Dogs. Now, for all I know, the Niagara Ice Dogs could have literally won 0 games this entire season. Their best player is a 62 overall goaltender. Okay, I'm pretty sure our starting goaltender is much better than that. We have a 67 overall. So I think we're just going to go with Ryan Rubrock here. Is Ryan Rubrock really only a 60 overall? I guess he is. Then again, he is a rookie. He's 16 years old. But yeah, yeah, that's who we're going to add to the team here. Shout out to Ryan Rubrock. Now, this team has definitely seen some major progression over the last couple of years, and the one thing I can highlight this season, every single player on the forward core is a 60 overall or above. A 60 overall is a pretty low standard, but considering a lot of these guys right here were on the team at the start of the season, that's a lot of 50 overalls. We even have a 62 overall player that's a healthy scratch right now, so yeah, this team is definitely headed in the right direction. When it comes to the defense, we still have a handful of 50 overall players, and the goaltending, we still don't have our superstar, but I think Michael Simpson might be one of the best options for us. So now that we have a forward core consisting of all 60 overalls, that's not going to change anything. Zutterland's going to be picking up a hat trick in the third period, and we're losing game 1 7-2. But what it really comes down here is playing defense. We just have to stop the San Jose Sharks, and if we're able to do that, then we'll be able to win some of these games. Like a 2-1 loss to the Sharks, this one was going right down to the wire. Now, based on how the games have been going, I don't think the London Knights are going to be coming out on top in any of these games. Another 4-1 loss is going to be putting us on the brink of elimination. So let's just get this series over with quick so we can add another player to the team. Kunin's picking up the first here. They're scoring 6 goals in the second period, and this is going to be an embarrassing loss for us, a 7-1 loss. So let's move on right over to that CHL team's wheel and see who we're going to be adding to the team next. Hopefully we can get another 70 overall player. The Victoriaville Tigers, I have absolutely no clue who's on this team. So this next pickup is going to be giving us our first player from the Quebec League. And honestly, I'm perfectly fine with that. Warren's a 65 overall defensive defenseman. We need some good defensive defensemen on this team. So Noah Warren, I think you're going to play some big minutes on this team and you're going to help us beat the San Jose Sharks. Now that we have a bit more defensive help, I think we're going to be able to compete with the San Jose Sharks a bit more here. Maybe not. They're picking up 4 goals in this one and we're dropping that one 4-1. The one thing we have to remember though is it's a process. It's not going to be we add 2-3 players then we're going to be beating the San Jose Sharks. Like, they're an NHL team and we're a junior team. The NHL is full of some of the best junior players, so not just any regular junior team is going to beat an NHL team. We got to have a bunch of superstars here. Then again, superstar junior players might not be enough because the NHL is the best of the best around the world. So even if we have the best of the best junior players, it might not be enough. Another game we're going to be losing here. We're down 3-0 in the series. We might as well just pack our bags. But all it takes is a hot goaltender, and if we can play some great defense for a couple games, then we'll be able to beat the San Jose Sharks. Right as I make that statement though, we're allowing 6 goals. So that was a bit of an embarrassing sweep, but you know what? We're going to move on from that and add some more superstars to the team here. And what player we're going to be adding next? And it looks like the next player we're going to be picking up here is going to be coming from the Shawinigan Cataracts. Did I say that name wrong? Absolutely, but you know what? We're just moving on from it. We're not worrying about my mispronunciations. Now, hopefully the Cataracts have some superstar player that we can be adding to the team here. It doesn't look like it, but you know what? I'll take this 60 overall defenseman. Yeah, we could go for this 63 overall playmaker, but I'd rather get some more defensive help because we need it. So with a bit more defensive help, it'll be interesting to see what the London Knights can do this season. We can allow 5 goals. Looks like we're still good at doing that. Now, I think if we really want to have a chance against the San Jose Sharks, what we really need to do is win game 1 and game 2, because then that gives us a little barrier. If we're always down the series, we're going to have a real hard time fighting back here. But you know what? We're outscoring them in the third period, so that's some good progression. But it doesn't really matter if we outscore them if we still lose the game here. And once again, that's going to be happening in game 3 here, and we're down 3-0 in the series. So unless the London Knights can do the impossible here and make a 3-0 series comeback, we're going to be falling in 4 games. That's exactly what's happening here. So let's go ahead and add another player to this team. Yeah. This is the team we're selecting from. So about the only thing I could tell you with this next selection is it's coming from this team right here, and we're going to be adding a 68 overall. Yeah, that's really all I can tell you because I cannot pronounce that name right there. I even use Google Translate and I still can't comprehend what they're saying. Now, I think I really underestimated how difficult it would be for the London Knights to beat the San Jose Sharks. Game number 1 is going to be looking something like this, allowing a bunch of goals in the third period. That's becoming a very common theme here. We're going to compete with the San Jose Sharks up until the third period, but that's when things fall apart for us. However, we're dominating this game, 6 goals against the San Jose Sharks. That's a good sign for what this team's about to do. We're about to go on some hot streak right here. But a game like that just proves that the London Knights actually can compete with the San Jose Sharks, because if this team was able to score 6 goals in one game, that tells me they can compete. We're going to be dropping this one 3-1, but you know what? This team's showing some potential. Now, it would be nice if we could keep this series interesting, and a game 5 win would do that. I guess we're in game 4 here. We're off to game 5 now, and we're getting smoked 6-1. And in the actual game 5, things are not looking good. 7 unanswered goals, and they're beating us 8-1. But we did score 6 in one game, and that's progression. No, but real talk, I don't care if we win a game by scoring 1 goal or win a game by scoring 6 goals. We need to win 4 games in a 7-game series. I think we can actually get a decent player from the Sudbury Wolves. Now, I just remember why I'm somewhat familiar with the Sudbury Wolves, because they have one of the greatest players in the OHL on their team, Dalibor Dvorsky. Welcome to the team. He's been the missing piece all along. 71 overall, Dalibor Dvorsky, a future St. Louis Blues legend. He's going to make the difference here. Just look at this man right here. an absolute king. Now that we have Dalibor Dvorsky, I'm feeling good about the London Knights, and I think we might go on a bit of a run here. Losing game 1 6-2 though is not a good sign. But you know what? I believe in this team right here, and I think we're going to spark a bit of a comeback. We're losing game 3 due to a third period goal. At least we're competing with the Sharks. But eventually we do have to get over the hump here and really start competing. Yeah, we're losing a lot of close games. The only issue is we're losing those games. Like this one right here, that's another loss. Like at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. I don't care if it's a close game or not. We got to win some of these games. A 4-0 sweep's going to be eliminating us once again here, and now it's time to add a new player. So yeah, I guess Dalibor Dvorsky is not really going to be helping this team whatsoever. We ended up getting swept to the San Jose Sharks once again, but the Prince George Cougars, we're going to be landing on them again here, and that means we're going to get another fantastic player. So we've already added one player from the Prince George Cougars, but now it's time to add another one, and I think I'm actually going to go with this 65 overall defenseman. Our defensive core is still a bit weak. We have one guy below a 60 overall, so I feel like this 65 is going to be a nice addition to the team. So our defense is full of 60 overalls. The forward core is full of 60 overalls and above. Is that going to be enough for us to beat the San Jose Sharks? Definitely not. We're losing this one 5-3. But you know what? That's just game 1. This team can definitely bounce back here. It's going to take a lot for the London Knights to win 4 games though. The most we've won so far against San Jose has been 2. So are we going to be making a statement here in game number 2? It doesn't look like it. We're dropping this one 3-2. We either need to be scoring like 9 goals a game to beat this team, or our defense has to be absolutely incredible. The defense was not incredible here. Eklund's picking up a hat trick. So let's just finish it up in game 4 here, because the London Knights aren't going to be making a 3-0 series comeback. We are winning game 4 here, so I mean, we got a bit of momentum. However, I just don't think that momentum is going to be enough here. We're picking up a goal in the first period. San Jose is going to be picking up 2 in the second, and it looks like they're taking this one 4-2. So with another season done, that means another spin on the wheel of CHL teams. And let's see who we're going to begin with our next spin. It's going to be another WHL team in the Portland Winterhawks. Now, although I pay a bit of attention to the WHL, I'm not actually too sure who's on the Portland Winterhawks here, so I'm about to be finding out for the first time. Nathan Danielson is definitely a good pickup, so I won't complain about that. In order to get him though, we have to give him our worst player, so you can have this 53 overall right there. So 67 overall, Nathan Danielson, welcome to the team. I'm just assuming his name is Nathan. It's Nate Danielson. So shout out to Nate. Now we're very close to an offense of all 65 overalls and above. The only guys that aren't a 65 is our 4th line right here. Defensively, I believe that's all 65s except for this one defenseman right here. While our goaltending, I mean, we have a 67 overall. I can't really think of anyone better than that right now. So game 1's always a big one, but unfortunately we're going to be falling behind early in this series as Klim Kostin's picking up the OT winner. So we're either going to be tying this series up or we're going to be falling back 2 games apiece. Okay, we are dominating this one. What is going on here? 5 straight goals to open this one up. We actually might be taking this one home. London's looking a bit different this simulation. Game 3 is going to be a massive one. We're going to simulate the entire game here, and we're taking that one. We have a 2-1 series lead after losing game 1. We're about to beat the San Jose Sharks, aren't we? Also, if I ever say we're about to win a Stanley Cup, that's just because I have us in the Stanley Cup final here, because it's the easiest way to simulate the matchup. So yeah, beating the San Jose Sharks as a junior team, that's the equivalent of winning a Stanley Cup. We are one game away from hoisting a Stanley Cup. The London Knights are actually about to do it. So from here on out, we're simulating period by period, and the first 2 periods, absolutely nothing has happened. We're heading into the third, and the third period is going to be deciding this one. Never mind, we're going to need overtime. If the London Knights can pick up an OT winner here, they've beaten the San Jose Sharks in a best of 7 series. Okay, we got to go to double overtime, and it happened. Parzak's going to be picking up the overtime winner, and the London Knights have defeated the San Jose Sharks in a best of 7 series. A junior team just beat the San Jose Sharks. Maxim Mass was an absolute legend for us, but Parzak's the true hero. 7 points here in a 5-game series, 3 goals, 4 assists. Petrovsky, he was incredible as well. He's picking up 5 points. Luke Misa, 5 points in 5 games. He was a point a game, but it all came down to the goaltending, and Michael Simpson, you were him. A 938 and a 214 to beat the San Jose Sharks. Ain't no way you played better than Mackenzie Blackwood. Bro had a 344 and an 850. You had a 938 and a 214. You are a 67 overall. He is an 81. Ain't no way. So I guess that answers the question. Could the best junior team beat the worst NHL team? Absolutely not. We had to add a dozen more of the best junior players, and even after that happened, we needed Simpson to go on the greatest run of all time. You think Patrick Waugh was a good goaltender? You think Martin Brodeur was a good goaltender? Then you haven't seen Simpson play, because he is that guy, the greatest of all time.